Randall Boggs, the ruthless, competitive, short-tempered villain in Monsters Incorporated. He has no problem killing children, cheating, and sneaking his way to the top. Randall is skyrocketing within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. He is able to one-shot any character within the game with his basic attack, and he is definitely a top 5 choice for the Siege on Olympus raids. What is going on, and welcome back to yet another character in-depth guide, my friends. Randall Boggs is quickly and swiftly becoming one of my favorite characters within the game. He is yet another villain that doesn't need any help from his allies to do his job all by himself. And guys, one of my favorite choices to take up to Gear 9, the insane value you are going to get from Randall. And on today's in-depth guide, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know on how to master this villain, as he's a little complex, but once you get used to him, he's an absolute unit. Quite frankly, there are not a lot of options for the downtown villains, and he's probably currently my favorite choice to take up. And let's face it, a lot of you guys just have that DTV gear just hoarding and sitting there waiting for a good character to use it on. Look no further, strap up, buckle up, and let's begin. Now, looking at Mr. Randall's highlights, my friends, he creates his most powerful advantages relying on nobody but himself. He is one of the few characters, in fact, in which every single one of his abilities are absolutely powerful and crazy, right down to his basic attack. Randall can keep himself hidden from the enemy just in time to deliver an insane damage attack, and he brings immense value against any Titan within the game with his powerful controlling abilities as well. As always, kicking it off with Randall's stats, Randall has impressive offense, speed, potency, precision, and evasion. Now, that's going to come at the cost of bad defense and health, but you guys are going to see here in a moment, it doesn't matter all too much with the way his passive and the rest of his abilities work all together. You're going to want high potency on your Randall and definitely an offense high Randall to get the most out of his kit. So right off the bat, guys, an offense stone is probably going to be the best option to go ahead and bring the stat as high as possible. Or in addition, you could go with a speed stone to get him out a little bit faster. But 9 times out of 10, I would say rock the offense stone on Randall. He's one of the few that you don't need a speed stone to get the most from him. Now, like I said before, guys, Randall's one of those characters you got to get used to a little bit. And once you get the hang of him, he's really easy to get a handle of, and he just delivers insane results. Now, we're going to go ahead and break down his abilities much more than just the description. I'm going to tell you what they're great in within the game modes and where you can best effectively use them. Let's start out with his basic sneak attack. Sneak attack is going to deal powerful damage to the target opponent, and Randall is going to thrive best under stealth. You'll see that here in a second, but that's going to keep him alive much longer. But in addition, if you do have stealth, you're going to have up to a 50% chance to hit the enemy 4 times with this 5,000 damage plus attack, which is typically going to result in the death of whoever he's trying to kill. I mean, he can one-shot Ralph, Beast, Hercules, you name it. He's just going to keep hitting them until they die, which naturally makes tactics very powerful with Randall. That's why I love Mike Wazowski. We'll get to that in a bit here, because you can go ahead and call him to assist with a basic. Using that basic with the tactics, you have him under stealth, and you're looking at extremely fast and powerful damage. Now, guys, he gets stealth a multitude of ways. We'll look at that here in a moment. But in addition to all of this, also with this basic attack, Randall is supposed to be hitting a freaking whopping 50% more per attack within the raids. Now, no surprise here, Johnny the intern decided to code this the opposite, and right now within the raids, it's bugged, and you are going to be hitting 50% less offense with each attack. And I'll just spoil it now, guys. Even with there's some big bugs with Randall, it doesn't matter. And that's what's so crazy about him. The bugs with him are crazy, and once they fix them, if they fix them, he's going to get even better down the line. And as an added note, no big worries here. You can be primarily using his abilities within the raid. They're always off cooldown, as you'll see, and and you don't use the basic all that much. His next ability, coming from the shadows, you have Vanishing Act. You'll be gaining stealth with this ability. You'll be inflicting fear on the opponent, which is going to be great for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, within the raid, putting fear on an opponent is vital to be able to land those turn meter stripping effects, or, putting those big harmful effects on the raid bosses. But in addition, you're going to be dealing up to 12,000 damage, and that is at its base attack. Now, this is a scaling ability, and you want to be mindful who you use this on for a multitude of reasons. Now, first off, if you target someone with this who already has fear, which Randall is going to be on a lot of fear-based teams, you're going to be instantly inflicting vulnerable on that character, making it way easier to follow up with a big hit from another teammate or with Randall himself. And or if you kill the enemy, that's where things get spicy, guys. First of all, you're going to be killing the enemy, giving Randall a free bonus turn to take right after the kill. But in addition to that, you're going to be putting fear on some allies for up to 2 turns. And then if they already have fear through a multitude of means, you're then going to be able to spread vulnerable. So spread these critical hits to the adjacent allies on the enemy teams. And so sometimes that means not trying to go against the biggest character on the team and just take down like an Ursula eel or even a gumbo pot. And you can instantly spread the fear, spread, all the vulnerables out there. You give Randall a free turn. You follow that up with his next ability, and you just get that big Randall purple snowball rolling. Now, just by using this ability, Randall is going to gain stealth, and stealth is all a part of keeping him alive. You need to make sure he's in stealth for a multitude of reasons. That's going to build into his passive. As you guys saw, doesn't have a lot of health, and I will say this with Randall. Altogether, he is a character you do have to invest a good amount into. Gear 7 to Gear 9 Randall is a completely different ball game because you're going to add so much more survivability, but you're also going to give him that added offense to guarantee these kills so that he spreads the fear, the vulnerables, gets the extra turns, and kind of gets his whole kit flowing and working and syncing together. Randall is one of my favorite raid characters to begin with. He seems to have some really high potency. Like against the Tornado Titan, I often get not 1 turn, but 2 turns of fear, allowing me to have all my other characters kind of roll and use their harmful effects. And as you guys know, if the Raid Titans have a harmful effect, they're going to get critically hit, and it kind of goes from there. So this is a great opening ability, and within the raids, you're going to want to open with that ability. Within PvP, you're going to want to open up with his best ability, which is going to be the next one we talk about, Scream Extractor. Now, this is the instrument that he used to kill children, or at least he plotted to kill children. There's no other way around it. He wanted to take the children, put them in the chair, suck them to death, and they die, right? So Randall's up there as far as like evil villains go. But Scream Extractor is also Randall's best ability within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. Now, he's going to have some of the highest damage within the game, hitting 13,000 damage flat out. On top of that, you're going to inflict up to a 2-turn silence on the target opponent. This is insane as it's going to deal that 13,000 damage. And then on top of all that, you cut their turn meter in half by reducing 50% turn meter. Now, obviously, this is going to be great in PvP. I mean, it spells it out for itself with the 2-turn silence and the reduction of the turn meter and the great damage. But in the raids, you have good damage. You have a way to get rid of the twisters against the Tornado Titan or the ice spikes on the Ice Titan. But then in addition to that, you can also use it on the main Titan to reduce half of that guy's speed turn meter. So great within the raids. When using this in the raids, you get a 3 magic cooldown, so you can use this almost every other turn. If you kill a twister or an ice spike, you can use it pretty much every turn that Randall goes after that initial bonus turn. And lastly, guys, in general in PvP, this is a really great move to shut down powerful characters like Hercules or finish off other weaklings on the field. Are you catching the craziness yet? Like, this guy snowballs both of his abilities. You can just go 1 shot, go and get a bonus turn, 1 shot, and then you keep going, right? It just keeps feeding itself, and I've killed up to 3 legendaries in 1 Randall Boggs turn, and it is just super satisfying. Now, it wouldn't be a glue game unless there was a bug right now with this ability as well. Scream Extractor within the raids and within PvP doesn't always give him a bonus turn. Now, the good news is this is a Delta upgrade, so this is going to be kind of that bonus upgrade, if you will. The other ability is a Gear 8 upgrade. This is Gear 9. Again, it's going to take some investment to make him worth it, and you're going to want him at gear 9 regardless. But if and when that's fixed, again, still very viable within the raids, but that's going to make him even better. And then lastly, that takes us to Elite Scarer. That's going to be his passive ability. Randall has a awesome passive, especially in the Maleficent meta that we are currently in. Now, right now, Maleficent puts out harmful effects to start the battle, and that means Randall is going to cleanse right off the bat. Now, when Randall gets a harmful effect every 2 turns, he's going to be able to cleanse all of the harmful effects on Mr. Boggs here. But in addition to that, guys, when he's under stealth, so all of those abilities we've been talking about, he's going to be having 50% extra tenacity, making it extremely hard to land any kind of harmful effects on him. But in addition to that, he'll be taking up to 25% less damage from all of the attacks in the field. He's going to be pretty much always healing right back up to full health. So within the raids and within PvP, those AoE harmful effect moves out there in the world, like Beast and his Shaken and Intimidates, it's just going to heal up Randall Boggs. And so he's constantly under stealth. He's constantly waiting to get that turn to use both of his abilities, and then you're done. You're going to be able to wipe the battlefield or deal great damage to the raid boss. And that is exactly what makes Randall so great. He's going to be good in PvP, but he's going to be able to just do so much in the raids. He can just flat out get rid of any turn meter for any of the Titans. But guys, it's as easy as this. Come with me to the game here. If you just put Mr. Randall here with a downtown villain, Dr. Facilier, you get him up to a bare bones gear 8, which is obviously a great teammate for Mr. Boggs. Randall can get to an empowered Titan by himself at gear 9. Mind you, gear 9, he could probably do pretty well at gear 8 as well. But he's able to get a Titan empowered under 30 seconds. I mean, his Scream Extractor does up to 140,000 damage. It's bonkers how much damage Randall does within the raids. And that's what makes him such a good gear 9 investment. What other teams out there outside of, the Adventurers and a couple others that you only really need one character to under 30 seconds get the job done? Now, on that note of other great teammates for Randall, I obviously love the Monsters Inc. duo. Any fear-based team, so like under Oogie Boogie as well, and that kind of makes him work under even like mythicals, right? Like have Oogie Boogie with Miguel, throw in Randall, and you still get some synergy in there because again, Randall, he doesn't need teammates, but it's funny, he doesn't love Mike Wazowski in the movies outside of Monsters University, but scare tactics with Randall is one of my favorite combinations. You throw that on Randall, you give him tactics, that's going to power up his basic right out the go. Love to use this combination if I'm going against Maleficent because Randall is already behind stealth, and you can spread fear like crazy with Randall, which is going to help Mike's passive. Obviously, this is probably the best combination. Love this in PvP. Sully naturally works really well with Randall. Just in general, the synergy that they have to spread fear, offense down with Sully, vulnerables with Randall, goes hand in hand together. Basic calling characters like obviously Belle is going to be great to call a pretty powerful basic altogether within the game. But I like Barley a ton with Randall, and I'll tell you why. Barley can call him on his basic attack, but Quest of Yore is awesome because you go ahead and give Randall that guaranteed crit. He's gonna kill somebody in one turn with a guaranteed crit and crit damage up, and anybody's dead at that point with Randall Boggs. That's a free turn, and you get the snowball rolling. So really powerful synergy with Barley as well. So again, looking at it, guys, pros for Randall is he's going to be insane in the raids. He's going to have insane value in PvP. He works in any of the factions that you've been working up. The cons are you do have to invest in him semi-heavily compared to the other characters that we've mentioned today or on today's video or on these masterclass videos. But Randall is one of my favorite characters. He's slowly progressing up. The downtown villains probably still have a lot of characters to come out, and you're not going to regret taking him up, as once they fix his bugs, the sky is the limit for this. I like to call him a skinny Barney dinosaur reptile. I don't know. What is he? He's a monster, but I don't know. What is he, chat? Comment down below. Alrighty, my friends. Well, hopefully you enjoyed Randall Boggs Master Class in-Depth Guide. If you want to keep on seeing these guides, comment down below. Who do you want to see me cover next, guys? We're going to be covering a lot of these characters, and I definitely love to look at y'all's suggestions. If you haven't already, guys, stop by the Twitch channel, follow us there, or subscribe to the Cozy Club today. Consider becoming a Patreon and all the other networks we've got in the Cozyverse. Hope you guys have a great day, and until next time, I'll stay cozy.